Yo, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Check the From the Shore to Be More show. Coming through strong with that podcast flow. Tuesday afternoon at 2 to 3 p.m. slot. Got the Interstate 95 Turnpike hot. When you tune in, they don't just entertain. They come with the message that presses the brain. Those other podcasts, they seem microscopic. Cause they're the big balls that drop the hot topics. So sure, be more dumb. You just stay ready for DJ Boom, Shaheem, and Montgomery. Put them together, there's a treacherous string. From the tri-state area to the DMV. So sit back, relax, get your Sundays on. On after morning, gone before dawn. That positive vibe that we hitting so strong. With this podcast show, you can't go wrong. So, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go.
What's up, everybody? What's going on? It is wonderful to see everybody back with us again for another episode of From the Shore to Be More. I am one of your hosts, the one and only Shaheem.
And I am your Aunt Debbie.
Yes, she is.
Absolutely, and everybody knows I'm the official DJ Boom here in the building, making it do what it need to be done. Always representing, making it
Yes,
lively.
it is. And yes, we are, of course, the treacherous three of the tri-state area and the DMV. You heard? It is wonderful to see everybody back with us again for another episode. We have a great topic for you guys, like we always do. Today, we are doing to vote or not to vote. And it's going to be an interesting topic. Where do you stand? Also, today, we're going to have a special guest. Yes, we have a special guest today, folks. Miss Angela Abez Anderson, who is a good dear friend of mine, and she's run for many offices around our local area and has held many offices around our local area. So we'll be talking to her about this very sensitive and passionate topic. So it's going to be a great show, folks, and we're looking forward to it. Right, guys?
Absolutely. Always. I'm always looking forward to the great shows.
Yes, we are. We try our best to give you all the best topics in the world. But I would be doing my job if I didn't mention last week's show, folks. Last week's show was When to Know When Enough is Enough. It was a great conversation, and if you missed it, you're going to want to go back and see it, along with some of our other episodes. If you missed last week's show or any of the many episodes of From the Shore to Be More, you can go back and find them. So while you're at home drinking your morning coffee, or in the car, or on your way home from work, you can watch us on our YouTube channel and listen to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And please, don't forget to subscribe. Don't ever forget to subscribe, folks. Your subscriptions do help us very much. So what's up, everybody? How was you guys' week?
I don't remember it already. I'm on the move. Good week, though. I'm sure it was good.
That's good to know. How about you, Boom?
I had a pretty interesting week, still building up business for Shush Entertainment. Here we got quite a few clients on board now, and starting in February, we're going to take this show on the road. So I'm excited.
Good. Congratulations. For me, I just want to take another look back, and I want to thank on Debbie for last week mentioned, of course, the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, which was on Monday. Happy birthday to you, sir, again. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. The words of Dr. Martin Luther King. So again, we want to say happy birthday to him. And we're going to talk about him later on as we talk about voting rights and things like that, I'm sure. Like I said, it's going to be a great discussion. Also, it's the NFL playoffs. Yes. And so far, it's been a great playoffs. A lot of good teams and some great games. I'm going to start with the game last night, of course, Boom. It was a great game. I honestly thought that your team was going to pull it out. I thought they were going to do it.
You know what? They showed their youthfulness with the miscues and the certain things that we literally had 13 points that we did not get. Two missed field goals. Well, one missed field goal, one not taking a field goal. That's 6 points by itself. So the miscues, and then that pick six. That was a pick six all day. He just dropped it. So it was a great game though. It really was. You know, I got my godsister.
Yeah, it was.
She up there in Jersey City. She's a 49ers fan, so you know she's been blowing me up all morning and all night.
I see
about the win, but great game though. I tip my hats to him. Watch out for him next year. I promise you.
Yeah, Green Bay Packers fans, you have nothing to hang your heads, or the team, you have nothing to hang your heads over. I mean, you guys got this far, which no one expected you to do in the first place, and you played one hell of a game. You almost pulled it out. You almost beat one of the better teams in the league. So that was fantastic for you guys. Great game. And as a fan, and I speak for all football fans, we sure enjoyed it. It was a great game. Also, hats off. Yeah. I know. Because you guys almost pulled it off. Hats off to him. And then also, hats off to my second home, the city of Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens got a big win yesterday. I don't like to root for them too much because they beat the Giants in that one Super Bowl. But yeah, hats off to the Baltimore Ravens.
Look, and funny thing is, they won yesterday by the same score that they beat the Giants, 34-10.
Is that true?
Same score.
Really?
Same score, 34-10. That's interesting.
I don't even remember. I know that's Super Bowl. I mean, it was a while ago and everything, but I don't even remember what the score was. I just know that.
Who remembers 24 years ago? Well, nobody remembers that. You know.
Was it 24 years ago?
Yeah, 20. It was 2000 when they won that Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay. Well, hats off to the Baltimore Ravens. Great game. It's been a great playoffs. I've really been enjoying it as a fan, and I hope we see two great games again today. Today we got Kansas City Buffalo. My pick is going to be Buffalo in that game. Please, people, chime in. Let me know what you're thinking about the game and where you're at. Where you stand, Boom?
I got the same pick. I can't like Kansas City, so Buffalo all the way for me.
Okay.
I've rooted for Buffalo when they lost the 4 Super Bowls that they was in. 4 times they got there, the 4 times they lost. So I've been kind of rooting for Buffalo for a while. So yeah, I definitely see Buffalo winning this game, and then the Bucks and the Lions.
Bucks Lions, yes.
I just cannot, I got to go with my division. I guess they're in the same division too. No, the Bucks aren't in our division no more.
The Bucks.
So yeah, they're not in it no more. They used to be, but so yeah, the Lions. I gotta go for the Lions, because they're in my Packers division. So.
Hats off to the Detroit Lions and their fans, man. It's been a long time coming. You guys have been waiting a long time to get to this point. You got a great team. I'm picking you in this game. Good luck. Honestly, I'm hoping that you guys go all the way. It'd be a Cinderella story. It really would be. So
I would be super excited for them. I really would. No disrespect or nothing, but I would really be super excited for them to go all the way.
Yeah, they've been so terrible for so long. So they got a good team now. Hats off to Detroit. Good luck today. Also, I just want to mention, like I mentioned last week, my daughter, Trey Asia, who's serving in the military over the Middle East right now, will be coming back to the States real soon on February 5th. And so, of course, like I said last week, I have my countdown. So now we are at 16 days before my baby safe at home here in the States. Yes, and so we are patiently waiting and praying for her safe return. Can't wait for you to get here. I just have to mention that.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. And hats off to all the men and women serving and protecting the country. Hats off to all of you guys. Let's keep the ball rolling.
Get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, get on up. Now if it's your birthday, good time, good time. We gonna have us a good time.
Yes, we are going to
Look,
have
I
a good
said
time. We're
that
going to
song
have a
is
great
fire.
time today, folks. Even despite all the snow we been getting, we're going to have a great time. Happy birthday to everybody out there celebrating their birthday after the day in the week that just passed or in the upcoming week. We love celebrating your birthdays with you. I have a couple. You guys have a couple people you need to shout out?
I was just trying to find the snow out here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he's in Georgia. He hasn't been getting any snow.
Oh,
But for us up in the Northeast, we've been getting buried. We've been getting buried. But we're going to celebrate anyway. Happy birthday. Like I said, I got a couple. Anybody?
I gotta look them up because I'm sure there are some and I just don't know off the top of my head. So let's see what we got going on.
Well, let me start then.
go
I'm
ahead.
going to start by first saying very happy birthday to our Aunt Gloria. Her birthday passed yesterday. And so I want to say, both of us want to say all of us, happy birthday, Aunt Gloria. Hope you enjoyed your day. You mean the world to us. We're glad that you are still here. We are able to celebrate these birthdays with you. Again, happy birthday.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, well, I don't have none that I can think of off the top of my head. Where we July?
Well, I want to also say happy birthday to my niece Moesha, though. Her birthday was on, I think it was Monday, and I missed her last week. So I wanted to make sure that I caught her this week because I didn't want no feelings. So happy birthday, Moesha.
Well,
I know
do
what your
have to
crazy
say-
self is to your day.
I have to say happy
And-
birthday to Felicia. Felicia's birthday is the 23rd, which is 2 days from now. So shout out to cousin Felicia. Celebrate. She was down here in ATL celebrating her birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, cuz.
Yeah, she was down here celebrating. I didn't get a chance to see her while she was here, but she was down here celebrating. Turned down for what?
Happy birthday, cuz. I know you enjoyed
And
your
happy
day.
birthday to all the Aquarians.
That's
We
right.
just entered Aquarius season. Yeah.
We did. That's right. Can you tell us something interesting about the sign Aquarius?
Oh, you know, they are very mentally active people. They are the avant-garde.
Really?
They march to the beat of their own drummer. And sometimes we think of them as being a little strange, but it's just that their thinking is often way ahead of us. So it looks far out to us, but it makes good sense.
It makes sense to them. All right. Well, there you go. Hats off to all you crazy Aquariuses out there. Hope you're enjoying your day. All right. I have some celebrities too. Real quick that I like to mention. For the ladies again. Mr. Shawn Wayans, his birthday just passed last week. I do not know how old he is. Ladies, you'll have to look him up. But happy birthday to you, sir. One of the many Wayans. How many are there? 13 Wayans? Or something like that? I forget.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is the amount, or something almost close to what my family was.
They have a large family.
Right.
Yeah. So happy birthday to you, sir.
Shaheem is
Yes.
Shaheem is so hetero.
What do you mean?
Like only the ladies want to look at a good-looking man.
You're right about that, especially these days. A man likes to look at a good
I don't
looking.
want to look at a good looking man. I don't want to look
Well,
at.
I like to look at beautiful women.
Well,
I'm
I
glad
mean,
you
I like
said
to
that.
away with that. Women can get away with that sort of stuff, though. Well, I'm not
glad you
looking
said
at
that.
beautiful men. Like I'm not like, oh, he's a very handsome man. Yeah, I'm not.
This is a beautiful woman I want to show you. Another person celebrating their birthday.
Okay, keep it going.
We can't
Miss
get away
Regina
with
King is also celebrating her birthday. Director, producer, voice of the characters on the Boondocks. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, I want to look at her. Absolutely.
Regina King, happy birthday to you. Your birthday passed a couple days ago. I'm going to make sure that I recognize you. I love the Boondocks, first of all. I want to say that. Also, very important to me and to a lot of nerds out there, the birthday of this man, Mr. James Earl Jones. Yes. And people may say, well, why is that birthday so important to you, man? Well, let me give you a reason why this birthday is so important to me.
Yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did. There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you. Luke, you do not yet realize your importance. You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. I'll never join you! If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
No. That's not true. That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
No!
One of the greatest scenes
Oh,
in
wow.
movie history.
That man can say the word power, I tell you.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was the voice of the legendary James Earl Jones, playing one of the greatest supervillains. Happy birthday, sir. You are a legend in this game, and that voice will live on forever.
Forever.
Happy birthday, sir.
And that's not just for nerds, by the way, because I'm not one and I enjoy Star Wars.
That's right. Happy birthday, sir. The world loves you. There you go. All right. Happy birthday to everybody. All your Aquariuses out there. Enjoy your day. We love celebrating your days with you. All right. Let's keep this thing rolling.
You know,
I guess right now we should start the show.
Must see move TV and movies. I must say, on W. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Boom.
I was about to say, y'all give me something to watch with these.
Oh,
suggestions.
good, because I
guess-
got something.
I guess Aunt Debbie did the same thing. So when you guys mentioned last week Lift, I did sit and watch Lift. I actually thought it was a pretty damn good movie.
Did you?
You know, especially I look at how it's put together with the characters that's in it. You know what I mean? It could have been real cheesy, but it wasn't. To me, it wasn't cheesy. It was done pretty good. So I give it a I give it 4 turntables.
There you go, folks. The movie Lift. That was Kevin Hart's movie. I caught it on Netflix. I think that's where you can go catch that, guys.
Yes, it was on Netflix. Mm-hmm.
It's harsh, did you say, Shaheem?
The movie? For me, that movie Lift. After seeing Kevin Hart in so many funny movies, it was tough for me to see him in that role, but I thought it was a decent movie too. I did think it was a decent movie. So hats off to Kevin and his production company. It was well done. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even deny it. I have a couple, but first I want to say this. This is also, like on Debbie said, I think last week or the week before, this is also becoming one of my favorite segments to do on the show, I must admit. I did go back and I saw Bayat. That the movie a Bayat that you recommended on Debbie.
Naiad.
That's right. Bayat, right. Naiad. There you go. I'm sorry. Naiad, right. That was an awesome movie. I really loved that movie. I really loved it. So I'm going to second that one and say to people out there watching the show that you're going to go want to check that movie out. It was very inspirational. Very inspirational. Loved it. Both me and my wife loved that movie. Good pick. But also I have another one. Netflix again. I watch a lot of Netflix. I'm starting to notice, but this movie I thought was funny. It was quirky. This movie right here, people call Queen Pins. So it's on Netflix again. I think it's one of the top 10. So it should be easy to find for you guys. I thought that movie was quirky. It was funny. I really did. You see it, Boom?
Yes, I did.
You did see it. Okay, so you seconded.
Right. Yeah, I give that movie 4 turntables too.
That movie was funny. It was quirky. I enjoyed it. So people, if you're looking for something to watch today, and when you're not watching us, I would say go back and definitely watch that movie. It was definitely a good one.
It's definitely funny. It's most definitely funny. I was laying in bed cracking up watching that movie.
I thought so. It was interesting too. How I don't want to give too much away.
How it was put together.
How it was put together, and what these ladies were able to accomplish. So again, folks, if you're looking for something to watch, if you're not watching us today, I would highly recommend that you go back and check out the movie. And that's my.
So I make it my business now to watch at least 2 movies, so I can come on and talk about them every Sunday. That's why I said I think I'm loving this segment because it's giving me something to do. So I on purpose make sure I watch at least 2 movies. I might watch more, but I at least got to watch 2 in order to be able to talk about them. And what I'm going to talk about is the Good Mother, starring I can see her whole face, Hilary Swank.
Okay, what's the name of it again?
The Good Mother. I thought it was a pretty good movie. She said, I don't know about Lift yet. The Nest. Oh, okay.
See, people are paying attention.
I'm gonna have to look that up. The Nest. Okay.
What is the name of it again? The Nest. Okay.
The Nest.
The Nest.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Humble Brown. We appreciate your
It's on my list.
It's
Right.
on your list. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. Thank you again, Humble Brown, and thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And there you have it, folks. Like I said, if you're not watching us today, go ahead and check the movies out. I'm sure you're gonna love them.
Oh, and The Good Mother is on Hulu. That's on Hulu.
The Good Mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go. That's a couple, folks.
Yeah,
That's
I
for
saw
this
that.
Sunday.
And
What's it about?
I have one. I don't know that I would recommend it, but I like the concept. It's called After Love, and it's about a woman whose husband dies, and she discovers that he has a second family, and she goes to meet the family, and
Okay.
that was on. What did I see that on? I don't remember, but you can search for it. You know, some of it was difficult because it was the British accent, and you know, but I liked it. It was different.
Okay. What was the name of it again? I'm sorry.
After Love.
After Love.
You guys won't like it, but
Okay.
You'd be surprised. Now, one of my favorite all-time movies is The Notebook. So you'd be surprised what I would like. Yeah, The Notebook is one of my favorite all-time movies.
okay. I'm on notice.
All right, there you go, folks. That's a couple of movies that you go check out if you're not watching us today. All right, so that should fill up your Sunday. And so, if you have show topics that you think we'd be interested in, if you'd like to join one of the game shows that we do on the show, join the fun, you can contact us, folks. To contact us, you can reach us on our YouTube channel, where you can comment during the show, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can also watch, like, subscribe, and comment during the show on our social media platforms, our Facebook page, or our Instagram is @From the Shore to Be More. Our Twitter or X is @2_BeMore. Our email is FromTheShoreToBeMore@gmail.com, or you can call the show at 732-440-9314. If no one answers, please
please leave a message and someone from the show will get back to you.
There you go, folks. All right, we're going to get ready to jump into this topic. To vote or not to vote. I know that's a passionate topic for a lot of people because, of course, a lot of people take their vote, their right to vote very serious, and rightfully so. People have been through a lot to get us to this point. And so we're going to talk about all of that, folks. I know where I sit on the topic, so I'll start there. I vote a lot and vote often. I wasn't always like that as a young person. Probably like a lot of young people, I wasn't interested in it. But as I got older and more mature and more conscious to what was happening around me, I decided to get more involved and decided that it was important for me to vote. I understand that there are people out there who feel differently, and I know Boom is one of them, and he'll tell you why he feels the way he feels. But as far as I am concerned, and I don't know where on Debbie sits, and I'm sure she'll let you know. But as far as me, yeah, I definitely believe in voting and being involved in the process. How do you guys feel? And please, everybody out there, comment and contribute. We want to hear from you guys.
Boom.
Y'all go ahead first. I'm gonna light it up, you know.
Well, do what you're gonna do. Tell everybody how you
I
feel.
would make everybody angry. So, yeah, I don't subscribe to the whole voting thing because I feel like people are gonna do what they're gonna do regardless. At the end of the day, it's the electoral vote that carries you through. So, and we have nothing to do with the electoral vote. So I just don't get involved in that, and especially on the level of presidency. Community type voting, things of that nature, I'm more inclined to get involved in that because that feels more hands-on. That feels like you are doing something different. But like as far as the presidential and all that, it's whatever. They're gonna do what they want to do regardless, and that's where I stand on it.
Okay.
Well,
How about you, Debbie?
You didn't make me mad at all, Boom. You need to keep going. I certainly understand why people might not vote. You know, in my own life, well, I think we need to think not just about the presidency first of all, but on a community level, because voting affects how our potholes are dealt with. They affect monies going to school districts. And when we don't vote, people don't know we're there. And I think it's interesting when I hear people, politicians going for the, is it called the gay vote? Did they have another name for it? Sorry. They go for the gay vote or the Jewish vote, the women's vote. That means they have identified the Jewish vote. They have identified certain groups of people as, you don't have to be sorry, Humble Brown. Be you, do you. And we appreciate your comment. So it means that there are certain people who begin to influence, our country and our local politics. And I didn't always vote, and I still say, no matter who is president, I haven't felt impacted by it.
Right.
I didn't feel impacted by Obama, who I vote. Well, the impact on him or me was emotional. To see him and his wife and his family. I mean, that was like, it was aesthetics and it was political and it was beautiful to have them in. But my life didn't seem to change. Although my intelligence did, they provided some wisdom. And I believe theirs is the most wisdom, the Obamas I'm speaking about, that I
Mhm.
heard in a long time. But um, what I like about Trump winning was that it made obvious who was out there. And in my
Mm.
community, people are, pretty intelligent and reasonably reasonable. And I thought it was important to know that there are people out there who vote with rancor, and also people who felt disenfranchised. And it was
Right.
interesting to note that there were many people of European descent who felt that they were being overlooked and that their concerns were not addressed.
Right.
And I
Right.
do have more to say, but I don't like this idea of me going on and on and on. Anybody have a response? I
well,
wouldn't be
well,
a good politician. Does
well,
anybody have a
so
response so far? And there is
well,
something else I do want to make sure
No,
I get in. But
I stand the same way. Like I said, the local things that we can vote on that's gonna make a difference, things of
mm,
that nature. I'll get out and vote on that. I remember when Obama was in off, in the running to be president, and everybody saying, "Go vote for Obama." I said, "What? But what if I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, felt like he wasn't the best candidate for the job? I should just go vote for him because he's black." Because that's why they were basically pretty much telling me. I said, so I should just go vote for him because he's black. What if I really felt that he was not going to do a good job? Should I still vote for him? You know what I mean? So this is
no,
where a lot of
yeah.
my
I mean, that's ignorance to say vote for somebody because they're black. I mean, who's that man, Clarence Thomas? Like, if he was running for president, um, if he was when he was running, I'm reading Humble Brown's comments and trying to talk. When what was I saying? Um,
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas. If they presented him, you know, for president, I don't think he could run for president. I wouldn't be voting for him. And I think Obama was a reasonable choice. Not only because he was black, and that's important because we may not realize how much it impacted people who had never seen a black person as president and
right.
didn't even think it was possible. And
Right.
so if he could be president, what other things are possible? So I think it's important.
Going for that.
Thank you. I think it's important as a legacy, as people understanding what was when Shirley Chisholm ran in the
Mm.
'60s. I think it was. We didn't even think of a woman running, much less we didn't even think that way. So when our consciousness is expanded, that is always a good thing.
Right. 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 You have to forgive me. I'm paying attention, but I'm also trying to get our guests in, so I'm working behind the scenes.
Okay, can I make my one last point, and then before she comes on, because then it may be irrelevant.
Well, I sent her an
I,
email, so I'm waiting for it
and I'll
to
be
accept
quick.
anyway. So we
And
have
can we
time. Go
show
ahead.
my clip in a second? Never voted. When I was in my 30s, maybe even early 40s, I did not vote. And one day I saw on TV, this probably was the 80s or the 90s, I saw and you could decide whether you want to run the clip or not, but I saw black people being beaten and hosed and they called them water cannons and the batons and just struck down for wanting to vote. And here I was like, whatever. And when I saw what my ancestors went through for me to go to school, for me to vote, For me to be able to walk down the street without crossing it because a person of European descent was coming down, I thought I want to honor that. But just because our ancestors did it doesn't mean we should do it forever and ever. Boom. So I'm not saying, because our ancestors also ate hog mugs and chitlins, you know what I'm saying? So, it doesn't mean that
And I
just
never
because
have.
they did it, we should did it. But that was a factor in motivating me to vote. I thought, I don't know if it always helps, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
Right. Well, I think you hit on a lot of good things. First, you talked about the feeling of feeling disenfranchised, which I think most people, especially a lot of people, especially Black people, feel. When you don't feel like the system's working for you, and you don't feel like you could do anything to change it, it's a tough feeling. And yeah, you become disinterested, and you tend to check out. But at the same time, for me, I cannot stress the importance of having a seat at the table. Um, and I don't have to tell everybody. You all know the sacrifices that the people made for us, just for us to even have the right to vote, let alone for us to become senators and congressmen and be part of this system. Again, I can't overestimate the importance of having a seat at the table. I'm not judging anybody. That's not what I'm here for. That's for sure. Because when people tell me that they're not interested in the system, I guess I kind of get it. But you can make a change. It has to be in numbers. One person ain't going to do it, obviously. And so it takes a coalition, a movement to make that change. So when half of the coalition saying I don't want to be bothered, and the other half's trying to fight on, it makes it that much more difficult, and things move that much slower, unfortunately. But that's what it is, right? And so for me, there's two kind of people, and I've said this before. For me, there's people who get on the picket line, and those who sit on the sidelines. Well, if that's the position you take, that's fine. But for me, it's hard to listen to someone complain about the system when they're not doing anything about it, even if it means something as simple as voting. My son, my wife and I, we've taken our son with us every single time we voted. He stood in the booth with me to vote just to get him in the habit. Now that might not be for everybody, and that's fine. But again, there's two kind of people: those who get on the picket lines to make that change, and those who sit on the sidelines and complain about things.
That's
I
the one
just
thing I don't do. I don't complain about nothing. I just let it be what it's going to be. I make no complaints. Do what you're going, because you're going to do what you're going to do regardless. I make no complaints about any of that. Nothing. I don't be like, dang, I couldn't get this, and I didn't get that, and I didn't get this, but whatever. You
Yeah,
go for it.
I'd like to.
That's where I stand on it. Go for it. You do you. If I find a reason to pick it or to do it, and I think it's going to make a change, then I'll be out there. If I don't think it's going to do anything, I'm not going to be out there. Plain and simple. I'm not going to do it.
Let's tweak the language because it's not that we're complaining. I have this problem even sometimes with my guy. If I say something and stop complaining, it's like I'm not complaining. I'm speaking up. I'm advocating. And so I think, my brother is in a nursing home. If I don't advocate for him, those people they will do whatever they want to do. And so I think we're talking about advocacy and not really complaining. We're talking about having a vision and asserting that vision. We're talking about holding people accountable. We're not talking about complaining. We're talking about being part of the change.
okay. Well, all right. Also, I see that our guest is here, so I want to definitely get her in and get her take on it. This is a very dear friend of mine. I've known her for many years. And I've worked with her, and she's run for a lot of things in our local district. And like I said, a very good friend of mine, Miss Angela Abez Anderson. So I'm going to give her a warm welcome, everybody.
Greetings. Welcome,
Hey.
Angela. Oh my
Thank you.
See,
Thank
that's what I
you.
mean about wanting to see a beautiful woman. I'm enjoying her beautiful persona.
Oh well, thank you. I'm enjoying yours. And
Oh, you're
Shaheen,
kind.
thank you so very much for inviting me.
Of
I
course.
am delighted to be here.
I couldn't think of anybody better, Angela. It's always good to see you. And yes, you look beautiful and very radiant today, let me say.
Thank you.
And thanks for taking your time out. I know how busy you are, and to be with us today, and that you've been under the weather. So I hope you're feeling better too.
I am. Thank you.
Did you hear some of the conversation that we're having?
Wait a minute. Pause.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Before we go into Angela, can we do the clip that our Debbie was talking about?
Oh, I can
wait,
wait
hold
on that.
Yeah. I'm going to play it for sure. I'm going to play
Yeah,
it for sure. But did
Thank
you hear
you,
the
Boom.
Yeah.
Yes, I did hear some of the conversation, and I have to agree with my sister here. We have to advocate and speak up for ourselves. If we don't, then we're sitting back and allowing whatever to happen to us. If
Right.
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Medgar Evers, all of those others, those who protest so that we can have the right to vote, if they all set back, where would we be right now?
Right.
You know, where would we be? Would we still uh, be enslaved? And I'm gonna be honest with you, to a point, we still are. We're still
Well
enslaved.
said. Well said.
You know?
Well said.
Right.
And we vote.
Yeah, and we vote. But I think there's a problem here. I think that those who are more affluent, they get out and vote. But for those of us who are not as affluent, it's like we're getting the crumbs, on the at the bottom of the barrel, and that's because we don't come out, a lot of us. So I'll give you a prime example. I sat on the school board for 10 years, and here in Asbury Park, school district is not the best, and I can count on one hand the parents that would come to the school board meetings. Now, if it was something about football, track, or volleyball, some sports, parents came out and they complained. One parent that I know was definitely involved with their child is Shaheen. He was there whenever he had a problem. He reached out to the superintendent, and he made sure that what he needed for his child, it was given. He advocated for his child.
I want to shout out to my wife too. My wife is
and your wife,
right,
exactly.
Right side
yes,
too,
I don't want to forget about Mrs. Boyd. Mrs. Boyd is there as well. But I'm just saying. Then here you have folks. I'm now on city council, and I can count on one hand how many times we come out and say what is impacting us. And the reason is because some of us have, and we've been ignored. And so when we're ignored, then we sit back and say, well, you know what? They're not going to do anything anyway. And like DJ Boone was saying, hey, I'm not complaining, but it's going to be what it is. But you still have to, you have a purpose. Each of us have a purpose, and there's a reason that we're here. And we have our sound mind, and we have our voice, and we're to use that voice and speak up to affect change, because we have that power within us to affect change in our lives and in the lives of others.
I agree, and it's tough to feel that way. Like I said before, I'm not trying to judge anybody. I understand why people feel the way they do. It's easy to do. I mean, it does, and unless something's affect you directly in your household, if you don't really feel the change or anything, it's hard to pay attention to it, right? So, I mean, on a national level, you don't really feel the things that are happening. They're just happening, right? And so it's easy to check out. I totally get it. I totally get it. It was only through me wanting to be conscious about these things that I find, and being a little bit of a political nerd. Yes, I am a little bit of a political nerd, that I got involved. But for most people, when you bring up politics, they snooze on you. They don't want to hear that. No, it's not. It is boring. It could be litigious if you really want to dig into it, and it's done purposely to keep us out of it, and so I get it with why people feel the way they do. So I'm not judging. All I can do is speak to those who will listen and try to explain in the best way I can why it is important, as daunting as it may be, as hard as it is to pay attention to it, how important it is.
You spoke on the level of the school board. If I had an issue with my child, I'm gonna be all day, every day, making sure whatever needs to get done, get done. You know why? Because I'm gonna impact that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And again, it's affecting you in your house, and so
right, exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's easy to pay attention to it.
I'm gonna be that same way. I'm gonna be on the school board. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be at the PTA meeting. I'm gonna be that same way. But that's why I said, for me, on the lower level, I guess you would call it, I'm all in. For my community stuff, things that I can be a part of and change and help grow and do whatever, I'm all in. The rest of that stuff, what they do in America, honestly, I hate to say it that way, but I can really care less, because they're going to do what they want to do. Our votes don't matter. It's the electoral votes that count, and that's what they count. That's what's going to take it over the top. All of it. You cannot tell me everybody voted for Donald Trump. You cannot tell me that. I refuse to believe that. It's too many angry people that was upset when he got in. It was too many. So
what about me? Just
all
say
these
hi to you,
people
Angela.
voted?
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not buying that. So on the national level, y'all do what y'all do, but on the level that I know I can make an impact, I'll be there. I'm on the line fighting with you. Let's go.
One of our viewers wanted to say hi to you, Angela, and also that same viewer saying, how do you think the conversation go for me when I say I support Trump? Interesting.
Well, first of all, hello. You and I are going to have a difference of opinion. I'm going to respect your opinion, as I hope you respect mine, and we would just have to agree to disagree on how, from my perspective, and as far as yours. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to like you.
Right.
So.
Oh, we still gonna be at the cookouts together. And I know you're not specifically talking to me.
But, and me too.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the cookout.
I want to play. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
some perspectives.
Boom. I want to address something that you said about being active in the things that are visual for you, that hit home. When we have a toothache, we immediately do something about that, right? We get some Tylenol or Ambisol, salt and water. We do something immediately. But sometimes there are things happening in our system that we are not aware of. And just because we don't feel the impact of it, let's say, for example, people who can drink, and I say can drink because I'm asleep after, one glass of wine. But people who can tolerate drinking can drink or smoke cigarettes. They can smoke and never realize what's happening on a deeper level. And so it's easy to address a pimple. But what about your kidney and your liver and your heart? And so sometimes we need to have good practices, even if we don't see the result immediately. And for my count, voting is a good practice. And Angela, how did you get into being an advocate, activist, politician, community woman? What inspired you to get involved?
That's a damn good question.
Okay. Well, thank you for the question. I am a foster adopt mom, and my husband and I had 2 children of our own. We adopted 3 others. At the time when my kids were young, the school district, in my opinion, was not what I needed it to be. So I had my kids in other districts. I paid for their education. But when we began fostering, those children were in the Asbury Park School District. and I wanted to effect change. And so I started out behind the PTO president. That's where I met Mr. Boyd. And he and I and Frankie, we put together because we wanted to have the parents come out. So we had a remember the sports night, and we would have we would have
Absolutely
kids come
do.
out, and then we could take the parents.
Power to the people.
Exactly.
Power to the people, man.
Yes. And Mr. Boyd, he and another gentleman, they handled, and a teacher handled the sports, where we were able then to take the parents and educate them on different topics. And that increased. We would feed them and have pizza night and things of that sort.
Beautiful.
From there, someone asked me to run for the Board of Education, and I did, and I won. And thank you. And I wanted to affect change. I thought it would have been easier to affect change from a board level. It wasn't.
No.
But I was able to set policies or put policies in place with the board members, work on getting a new superintendent in place so that we could then begin making changes. And so from there, we have the high school that is now an academy, and you know, and change all of that. From there, I put 10 years in. I became involved with the Democratic Committee. I'm president of that, and then I became a council member because I feel that we need to affect change here in the city because we have gentrification that's going on here in the city, and many of us are being pushed out. You know,
Speak on it. Speak on it.
Pushed out, all of that, and it's still impacting our school district as well as our taxes. Because the lower the enrollment, the more taxes you're going to have to pay.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Boom, can you have little comments for me, please?
The last line of that is, I believe that I am here for a reason. And you will hear me, as I've always mentored my girls, that you have a purpose, there's a reason that you exist. And that is to affect change, first in your life and then in the lives of others.
Well said. Well said. Beautiful. Yeah, started from grassroots. I think that's how a lot of people get involved. It starts right in your local neighborhoods.
That's right.
And before you know it, you start developing actual passion for it. I think, and you want to be involved. But I think that's where it starts for a lot of people, is right in your neighborhood. And I mean, even you, Boom, you even said that if something's happened right in your local neighborhood, that you would get involved, because like I said before, when something's right directly affecting or impacting your home directly, you see it, you want to get involved. For the national level, it's a little harder, and I totally get it. Before we get too far along, I just want to play this video that Aunt Debbie sent me. I'm hope I edited right, Aunt Debbie, but you can let me know.
First black woman to seek a seat in the US Congress from that state. She had helped organise a demonstration on March 7, 1965, to protest the killing of a young African-American church deacon named Jimmy Lee Jackson by an Alabama state trooper, and to continue the fight for voting rights. The Selma establishment was known to be among the most egregious in barring blacks from the polls. But what started as a peaceful protest ended with unspeakable violence. The veteran activist clearly recalls the events of that day, and she recently recounted them to middle school students in Los Angeles.
Under Dr. King, we decided that what we need to do is to have a bill that would let Negroes become registered voters. We were going to march from Selma, Alabama, which is on the river bridge, to Montgomery. I was near the front at the beginning. They came with horses. They came with nightsticks, and I was standing and people were running because they were beating them. and then he hit me on my shoulder. I did not run, so he hit me at the base of my neck, and I became unconscious. They drug me off of the highway, and there I lay. I don't know how long, but somebody said to one of the state troopers, "She's dead." So they reported it to Jim Clark, who's the sheriff, and he said, "If she's dead, let her alone and let the buses eat."
Images of the atrocities that day sparked shock and outrage across the globe. When Boynton Robinson became aware of the magnitude of the malfeasance that occurred on Bloody Sunday, it intensified her resolve.
So it made my determination to do better and go farther.
Boynton Robinson was present at the White House when President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the vote.
And that's why I vote. That's why I vote.
I cut the part where she mentioned her name. I'm sorry, folks. That was my fault. My editing skills aren't the best. So I didn't catch her name. But you hear in a lot of Black homes, a lot of those stories from our elderly members of the family, of the trials, tribulations, and things that they went through in the past. We don't feel that now, of course, but I can attest it was tough. I am a child of the 70s, but even then, in the 70s, in the 80s, you felt it. You felt it. Yes, it existed. The Voting Rights Bill was passed in 1965, thanks to those brave men and women, Black and white, I want to say, not just all Black and white, who marched and fought for us to have that right. Very important legislation. And I just want to say that to this day, that bill is under threat. Every year for the last few years, a coalition of people have been trying to chip away at it, little by little, taking away certain things until it's finally gone. Yes, folks, there are people that want to keep you from voting in this country, and they mean to do you harm. They mean to do you harm. So I hope that this brings some attention to that important issue, and to waking up, open up the eyes of a lot of people to the things that are happening that you don't see. There are things going on in the dark that will impact you greatly.
Absolutely.
Promise you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Angela, who are some of your heroes? Who do you admire in the political scene? And, you know, we're not just asking for your Black heroes, whoever. Who do you admire? Who informs and inspires and motivates you? Who do you listen to when you're having a moment of down?
Good question. You're good at this.
The late Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
And Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters. Hats off to Maxine Waters. Yes.
And I also admire Nancy Pelosi. You know. Yes. So those three right off the top. Definitely now.
I want to say this though. For me, I don't like either party, Democrats or Republicans. I don't like either one. But I do choose. When I go into that voting booth. I'm forced to make a choice. I'm hoping for that another party emerges in the future that's kind of more moderate, more down the line. I think most of us are hoping for that. But right now we got what we got.
Create it. Create it. You said y'all dive in, create it.
If I had the time and energy, I probably would. But there are organizations out there that have already started the process. They just don't get the light shined on them as much as the Democrats and the Republicans. There are other parties out there, but they're underfunded, probably purposely, and things like that. So people out there, you can do your research. There are other parties out there. They just don't get that attention like the other two do. Yeah, unfortunately.
And Shaheem, if I may say this, Shirley Chisholm had said that, you know, if they don't have a chair at the table for you, then bring your own.
Yeah, you know? I like that.
You know, she's another one that I admire. And so,
yes.
Yeah, we have to learn. It's you have to look at what is going on in your community. You look at your schools. Your school in Asbury Park is different than the schools in Long Branch, and Neptune, and Colts Neck. You have to begin looking at what you don't have and what you can do to affect change. And each and every one of us has the power to do that. And you have to start within your own community. And bring that lawn chair, stool, or be able to kneel and stoop if you have to, so that you can say what you have to say.
That's right.
And be heard.
That is right.
That's right.
That is right. All right. It's been a great show. It's been an awesome show, a great conversation. I really appreciate the fact that, Angela, you took some time out your day to share with us. And contribute. We really appreciate that, don't we, guys?
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
And you do know, anytime that we're having a topic that I think that you're going to be good for, I am going to call.
I am always available when you call. Thank you. I'm available.
All right. Thank you very much, Angela. We're going to start closing out the show. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Take care. Nice meeting you.
You too. Thank you.
That was an awesome conversation, I think, guys. When you say?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I don't, on whatever side of the argument you sit on, I hope that all of you out there got something from today's conversation. That was the whole point of it. And so, there you have it, folks. Get out there and vote if you can. Especially on a local level. Any last words from you guys before we start closing out?
I always have a last word. Again, I will always be involved on the level where change is being made. But you know, if I feel like I'm wasting my time, I'm not doing it. That's just me.
Okay.
And my closing statement would be, if you don't vote, okay, but don't litter. Don't litter your mind, and don't litter the minds of other people. Keep it positive.
Well said.
I like that.
I agree, Humble Brian. It was a great topic. It was good. Thanks, Terry. It was a great show today. All right, guys, we're going to start rounding it up. Boom. What you got coming up, cuz?
Oh, my goodness. Again, I'm not traveling, just building business, getting more clients and stuff for Shush Entertainment and pressing forward. I don't travel again until February 16th is when I'm back on the road. Jet set and flying somewhere to do an event up in Maryland. So right now, I'm just building business. If you're out there, you want to do a silent disco, you need a DJ for a wedding, birthday party, whatever, hit us up. Shush Entertainment. We got it all for you.
Shush Entertainment. How about you, Debbie? You're always busy. What you got going on?
Y'all, please. Mammogram. That's political, taking care of one's health. I have a couple of clients, and I'm meeting with a financial investor. I want to learn more about how to deal with money.
Thank you, Caritha. It was a great show. Thanks for tuning in. I know you always do. Thank you very, very much. as far as me, folks, you know, as always, for that special someone in your life, if you're looking for gifts, you can always go to my indoor store, hazytrades.com, where we can make custom-made gifts, especially our custom-made tray sets for you. We're sure that you're going to find something for that special someone in your life. Also, for everything music and other things that I got going on in my life, make sure you visit therealshaheem.com, where you can see or listen to my new song, Charlene, folks. Is somewhere behind me. I'm always on the wrong side. There you go, Charlene, that's sitting right behind me, folks. And go check that out. All right.
Humble Brown, I hope you're following me on Instagram or something, because we need to be having off show conversations at some point.
And thanks for watching. And thanks for watching, everybody, for this episode. It was a great topic. It was a great show. Thank you to our guest, Angela Bess Anderson. And thanks to all you guys for watching. We will definitely be back next week. We want you to be back with us for another episode of From the Shore to Be More. Go ahead, folks. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you next week.